Antarctica, a land shrouded in ice and mystery, hides a trove of astonishing wonders waiting to be discovered. Discovering these things teaches us a lot about our planet's past and the mysteries of Antarctica. Join us as we explore the top 10 incredible discoveries in Antarctica and learn about the secrets frozen in its icy world. Number 10. Antarctic Blood Falls. In Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, there's a fascinating site known as Blood Falls. It's a waterfall that flows crimson red from the Taylor Glacier. The vibrant color comes from iron-rich brine trapped under the glacier for millions of years. This brine is very salty and has a lot of iron in it. Scientists have been puzzled by blood falls for a long time. Early explorers thought red algae might be causing the color. However, more recent studies found that the iron in the brine reacts with the air, making the water look red. In 2017, researchers used special radar to discover hidden tunnels and salty reservoirs deep under the glacier. These tunnels feed the waterfall at the glacier's edge, adding to its mystery. Blood Falls is not just a beautiful sight, it's also a window into how life can survive in extreme conditions. Microbes living in the salty, iron-rich water may give us clues about life on other planets. Studying blood falls helps scientists understand more about Antarctica's hidden ecosystems and the Earth's history. Before we move on, share this video, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Number 9. Elongated Skulls. Have you ever wondered if ancient people in Antarctica changed the shape of their skulls? Recent digs in Antarctica's Paille area found some long skulls that excite scientists. Led by Smithsonian archaeologist Damian Waters, the team dug up 3 unusual skulls. These skulls are different from others found in the region and make us rethink how ancient people lived and adapted in Antarctica. It seems they might have practiced a tradition of shaping skulls during childhood. This discovery is important because it helps us understand how early humans survived in such a tough environment. Changing skull shapes was common in many ancient cultures, but finding it in Antarctica surprises scientists. Studying these skulls could tell us more about how early Antarctic people lived, how they survived, and how they fit into their communities. Damian Waters from the Smithsonian thinks these skulls reveal a whole new story about humans in Antarctica. He believes shaping skulls might have helped these ancient people adapt to the cold and harsh conditions. As researchers keep studying these findings, we'll likely learn more about the lives and cultures of the first Antarctic settlers. Number 8. Antarctic Fossil Forests. In Antarctica's transantarctic mountains, scientists have found ancient fossilized forests that are more than 260 million years old. These remarkable discoveries show that Antarctica was once covered with lush forests, long before it became icy. The fossils, like preserved leaves and pieces of wood, are like time machines that tell us about the climate of Antarctica in the past. By studying these fossils, scientists can understand how the climate changed in Antarctica over millions of years. These ancient plants in Antarctica give us clues about how the Earth's climate was in the southern part of the world during the Permian period. They help scientists learn about the temperatures and environment of Antarctica long ago. Number 7. Antarctic ice sheets and subglacial lakes. Antarctica, the coldest and windiest place on Earth, has some incredible secrets buried under its ice that scientists find super fascinating. There are 2 main things they're really into: the East Antarctic ice sheet and these hidden lakes under the ice. So imagine this massive blanket of ice covering almost 2/3 of Antarctica. It's called the East Antarctic ice sheet, and it's the biggest chunk of ice on our whole planet. This thing doesn't just sit there, it actually affects how high the oceans are around the world. But what's really cool is that deep inside this ice, there are these records, like time capsules, that tell us about Earth's climate history. Scientists drill into the ice to get these long cylinders of ice called ice cores. By studying them, they can figure out what the weather was like way back, what gases were in the air, and even when volcanoes erupted ages ago. Now, under all this ice, there are lakes. Not just any lakes, but lakes that are under the ice. Some are huge, like Lake Vostok, which is one of the biggest known subglacial lakes. These lakes have been cut off from the outside world for millions of years. That means the water in them could be like a time machine, holding clues about what the climate was like back in ancient times. And get this, They might have tiny forms of life in them that are specially adapted to living in extreme cold and darkness. How crazy is that? Antarctic dinosaurs. Believe it or not, Antarctica, that icy place at the bottom of the world, wasn't always a frozen wasteland. In the rugged transantarctic mountains, scientists have found fossils that tell an amazing story. Dinosaurs used to live there. They've dug up remains of sauropods and theropods. Think big, long-necked plant eaters and fearsome two-legged predators like T-Rex. These discoveries are mind-blowing because they show Antarctica was much warmer millions of years ago, probably more like today's Patagonia. Back then, it had forests, lakes, and a whole range of creatures, not just ice and snow. Finding these fossils also helps us understand how dinosaurs spread across the world and adapted to different environments as Earth's continents drifted apart over time. So next time you think of Antarctica, remember it wasn't always freezing. It had its own Jurassic Park going on once upon a time, a place where dinosaurs roamed freely, leaving behind clues that are rewriting what we know about Earth's history. Number 5. Antarctic ice fish. Ever heard of fish with clear blood? Well, meet the ice fish from Antarctica. They're like the ghosts of the sea, swimming in some of the coldest waters on Earth. These ice fish are special because while most fish have red blood, theirs is completely see-through. Instead of red blood cells, they use special proteins to stay unfrozen in the icy Antarctic Ocean. Living without scales and with nearly see-through bones, these ice fish are the ultimate survivors in extreme cold. Their adaptations show us just how creative nature can be in helping creatures thrive in places where survival seems impossible. Number 4. The graveyard of penguin mummies in Antarctica. Imagine stumbling upon a hidden treasure in Antarctica, except instead of gold, it's a graveyard of mummified penguins. These little guys are incredibly well preserved because Antarctica is like a giant freezer with very little moisture. They're not just any penguins, they're Adelie penguins, and they've been chilling there for thousands of years. Now, why are these mummified penguins such a big deal? Well, they're like time machines that tell us about the past. Scientists can study them to figure out how penguin populations have changed over time and how they've dealt with different climates. It's like uncovering a whole history book written in penguin feathers. These discoveries are super important because they help us understand how climate change and human activities are impacting Antarctica's wildlife. By learning from these ancient penguins, scientists hope to protect the future of these amazing birds and the icy world they call home. Number 3. Meteorites and Antarctica. Antarctica is like a giant magnet for space rocks, known as meteorites. These are rocks that come from outer space and crash land on Earth. Antarctica's icy plains are perfect for preserving these cosmic treasures. Over half of all the meteorites ever found have been discovered there, hidden in the ice. What makes these meteorites so special is where they come from. Some are bits of Mars or even pieces of the Moon. They give scientists a rare peek into the early solar system's makeup, like time capsules from billions of years ago. By studying them, scientists learn about the different materials and processes that shaped our solar system. One famous example is the Adelie Land meteorite, found way back in 1912 during an Antarctic expedition led by Sir Douglas Mawson. It was the very first meteorite discovered in Antarctica and was named after the region where it was found. Number 2. Ice-buried pyramid. In Antarctica, there's a curious find that's got a lot of people talking, a possible pyramid-shaped structure buried under the ice. This discovery, located in the Ellsworth Mountains, has caused a stir because of its unusual shape. Some think it might be a man-made pyramid, while others say it's just a natural rocky peak that happens to look like a pyramid. The Ellsworth Mountains are known for their rugged terrain, where rocky peaks can poke through the ice. Scientists believe this pyramid-like shape could be one of these natural formations, called nunataks. Despite its intriguing appearance, they say it's likely not something built by humans or aliens. Researchers are studying this structure to learn more about its origins and what it can tell us about Antarctica's past. By examining its composition and history, they hope to uncover more about how this unique landscape was formed and what secrets it might hold. Number 1. Mount Arabus, active volcano. And finally, let's talk about a volcano called Mount Arabus. And it's not just any volcano. It's the southernmost active volcano on Earth. This giant sits on Ross Island, towering over 12,000 feet tall. What makes it so cool, or hot actually, is that it's always burping out gases and sometimes even erupting, even though it's surrounded by ice and snow. Scientists are super interested in Mount Arabus because it's like a science lab in the middle of Antarctica. They study how volcanoes work in extreme cold. Over time, the top of Mount Arabus has changed a lot because of big holes called calderas that form when volcanoes explode and collapse in on themselves. Even though it's freezing around there, Mount Arabus keeps doing its thing, spewing out gases like carbon dioxide and occasionally shooting up clouds of ash and rock. Thank you for watching. For more interesting videos, follow my channel.